Okay, so today's lesson is Module 2, Lesson 15. This is going to be all about mental math today. So the point of today's lesson is for you to be able to complete it all in your head, which I know can be difficult for a lot of people. So we're going to be going through the examples, and I will be talking out loud as I do things and explaining everything in detail. I would highly suggest a piece of scratch paper. I will have one over on, I'm going to be working everything out on here so you can see my notes on the paper. But a scratch paper would be really helpful when you're doing your work on your own, because sometimes you need to write things down to figure out where you need to do the mental math, and it'll come to you. So I am on page 157. Our first problem here, this is kind of they call it an opening exercise. So we're going to deal with adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. But once we get into the lesson, it's all dividing. So they want us to just different ways of mental math, okay? So when I'm adding, I see here that I have 99 and 44, okay? So I'm adding those two together. I don't want to do that in my head, okay? So what I'm going to do, because this is 99 and it's so close to 100, so I am going to, the 44 is going to give 1 to the 99, okay? So 44 gives 1 to 99. So think of it as your place value, okay? So if I give 1 out of my 44, that leaves me with 43, and this one with 100. So then it becomes 100 plus 43. I'm essentially just giving one number over here, okay? So 100 plus 43 we can definitely do in our head, okay? Okay. So the other one, come ask me questions, guys. This next one, there's a couple different theories about this next one. So this next one is if you increase both of them by 1, you're giving your, so if you increase this one by 1 and you increase this one by 1, because you're doing to the same side, whatever you do to one side, you're doing to the other side. So if we increase each by 1, so we have 87 and 49, we're just going up 1, right? I'm going up. So 87 minus 40, right? We can do this in our head, because 8 minus 4 is 4, and 7 minus 0 is 7. So what did we do? We increased each number by 1. Do you guys understand how we're doing that? Because we went up here and we went up 1 here, we're not changing the difference between the two numbers because we increased 1 on both sides, okay? And this just makes it so we don't need a calculator, we don't need scratch paper, we can just do this in our head, okay? 87, take away 40, okay, 47. Now this one here, this one's a little tricky. So for this one, I have 50, okay, multiplied by 14. So here's what I'm thinking. If we double the 50 to 100 and we divide our 14 in half, because we're doubling one side, we're going to divide this side in half. So if we have 100 times 7, we 700. So go ahead and check the answer with the calculator too. So this side we're going to double, and this side you're going to half, okay? So then it becomes 100 times 7, which equals 700. I want you to check that with a calculator, okay, and make sure that we are correct. I believe that according to the answer key we are, okay? Now this one here, this next one, dividing. This one, fives are hard, okay? So what I'm going to do, because it's a 5, I'm going to double it so it becomes a 10, and then I can easily divide it in my head, right? So I am going to double double both. I want to make sure. Yeah, double both. Yeah, double both. We're going to double both. So 180 and times 2. So if you think of it, 18 plus 18 is 36. So 360. Okay, you're just adding your 0 there. And then 10 times 2, or 5, maybe the answer. 5 times 2 is 10. So then we have 360 divided by 10. Okay, remember our powers of 10, guys, okay? So we essentially have 36 divided by 1, which equals 36, okay? 36 divided by 1, which is 36. Because remember, our powers of 10, right? Okay. So this part goes over here. See what I mean by you might need some scratch paper? You might need some scratch paper. So I'll move this down a little bit, creep it down. There we go. So you guys can pause and copy. But this is just a brief preview of what our mental math, okay? So we didn't need a calculator. Please feel free to always double check your answer. But if I don't have the work, guys, you're not going to get credit, okay? So please pause and copy. And then we're going to move on. We're going to use our mental math to solve 105 divided by 35. Holy cow. I don't even know where to start with that. Okay, so let's think of it this way. Okay, so if we have this one here, but let's think about a different problem, one that we know, okay, one that we know. 25 divided by 5, okay? 5 times what is 25? 5. We know this, right? This is when we know, okay? We know. We're going to double check on something we know. So essentially, okay, so our whole is 25 and it's divided into 5 pieces, okay? So if we have our tape diagram, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Oops, sorry. We have our tape diagram. How much I have 5 pieces, and I'm dividing that 25 into 5 pieces. I know that this is 25, right? So essentially, I have 5 in each box, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, we can do this, right? Okay, now let's look at this a little bit differently. Okay. What about this problem? What do you think? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? What is 50 divided by? 50 is divided by 5. Actually, it's 50 divided by 10 equals 5. Because you have 10 in each box. Okay. Okay. So we put 5 in each box. 25's our whole. We have 5 boxes. Okay. So guys, do you see how if we double, hopefully you guys see the pattern. So you guys can go ahead and copy, okay? And then we'll move over to 105 divided by 35 because we're going to apply the same concept to 105 by 35, okay? Okay, so let's go over here. 105 plus 105, so we're going to double, right? Double both, okay? And they want us to use mental math. So 105 plus 105. I have 2 hundreds and 2 5s, right? Okay, so I have 100 and 100. Guys, think of your like partial product type things. So same idea, and 5 and 5. So I have 100, 200, and then 10, right? So I have 210. And then 35, okay, so I have 30 and I have 30, that's 60. I'm adding up my 10s first. And then 5 and 5 is 10, 60 to 10 is 70, right? Ooh, boy. Okay, so let's think of it. Okay, anything look familiar, folks? So if we have 2210 divided by 70, okay? let's look at it this way. Sometimes flipping it from horizontal to vertical does help the brain, okay? Anything in common here that we see a pattern? Okay, we know that we can do this, right? We know this. 7 times what number is 21? How many times can I take 7 out of 21? 3. So guys, that's our answer. Answer's 3. Okay? Okay. I'll go ahead and pause. You guys pause. I'm gonna keep going. You guys pause. And we're gonna do a couple of these mental maths, okay? Okay. Here we go. Mental math, okay? Like I said, scratch paper, okay? It's all about seeing your times tables. It's all about seeing patterns with numbers, okay? So here we go. 770 divided by 14. Okay, I have 77 and I have 14, right? Okay, so let's think about this. So if I have 770 over 14, right? Okay, can I divide 7 into 77? And what about 7 into 14? I think I can. So I know 7 times 11, right, is 77. Okay, but I have a 0 on the end, so I have to make sure I have my 110 there. So I'm going to divide by 7 and divide by 7. Okay, so then 14 divided by 7 is 2, I believe, right? Okay, let's reduce it. Split it in half. Split your hundreds in half. That's 50. Split your 10 in half. That's 5. 55. Okay, so what I did is I split my 100, and that equals 50. And then I split my 10, and that equals 5. You add them together, you have 55. Okay, see how scratch paper is helpful. Okay, okay. Okay, we got a 5. Oh, pausing. I'll move this up so you can see both of them at the same time, and we can pause at one time. Okay, we have 5s. Okay, we can do this. We're in a double, right? Because the 5s make the 10s, and the 10s are easy peasy, right? So 1005 over 5. Okay, so to get this one over 10, what do I need to do? I'm going to multiply by 2, right? So 5 times 2 equals 10, right? So 1,000, 2,010. So I have my, so guys, essentially, I'm just taking this. So 5 times 2 is 10, and then 1,000 times 2 is 2,000. Okay. Ooh, can we do this? 201, because we just go like this, over 1, which equals 201, right? Totally? Are you with me? Yeah, we can so do this, okay? We can so do this. Okay, now let's do a two-stepper. Let's do a two-stepper, okay? Let's do the next one, because sometimes, you know, we may need to take a couple steps. Oh, pause and copy, guys. Okay, this one you may need a couple steps. So you have 8 here, okay? So let's take our 1,500 and divide it by 8, okay? Let's divide by 2 this time, okay? So that would equal, that's 4, right? And then half of 1,000 is 500, and half of 500 is 250. So, okay, so 1,000 divided by 2 is equal 500, right? And then we have 500 divided by 2. Guys, mental math, totally got this. See? 750, right? We totally got this. Okay. Now we're going to do it again. Let's just do it again, right? Why not? So, 700 is 350, right? So we have, we'll go down here, 700 divided by 2 equals, yeah, 70 divided in half is 35, right? So 35, and then I have 50 here, divided by 2 is 25. That equals, with me, 375. Mental math. Did I need a calculator? No. So 375 over 4 divided by 2, I know that's 2, okay? This one, I gotta divide that one in half, right? Okay, so let's think of it this way. So we have 300 divided by 2 is equal to 150, right? Okay, then I have 75 divided by 2. We can break that down further. 70 divided by 2. We already know this from over here, right? 35, right? I think, oh, sorry, 150. And then we have what left? We have our 5 left. So 5 divided by 2, we know that's 2.5, right? So add it all together. Okay, so I know I have a 0.5 here. 0, 5, and 2 is 7, right? And then I have a 5, 6, 7, 8, and then a 1, 187.50, right? Double check my math. But I think we may have just, see why scratch paper is so helpful? But you did it all mentally. You don't have to use a calculator. Okay, just break it down smaller, smaller, smaller. Smaller problems you can do, okay? Because we may not always have a calculator, okay? Okay, guys, so take a peek. Oh, go ahead and pause and copy. Okay. So let's take a peek at example number 2, okay? Evaluate the expression 175 divided by 3.5. And they want you to use your mental math techniques, right? Okay, this is with decimals, okay? We can do this, right? We can totally do this. Okay, so if we have 175, okay, if we multiply them by 2, that gives us a whole number, right? I think it does. So 3.5 and 3.5, you have 3 and 3 is 6. 0.5 and 0.5 is 1. So 6 and 1 is 7, right? Okay. And then I know 100 plus, so 3 plus 3 plus 0.5 plus 0.5 equals 7, right? Okay, so 175 times 2. So we're going to take this and we'll multiply by 2, okay? So we know that this one is 7 on the bottom, right? Okay, so let's take this 175. So 100 and 100, right? And then 75 plus 75. Okay, we can break this one down if you want. 50 and 25, so 2 50s and 2 25s, right? So if we want to, we can do a 50 plus 50. If you guys break it down further if you need to. 25. Okay, so we have 200 here. We have 100 here. That's 300, right? And this one is 50. Okay, so 350 over 7. Guys, tell me this. What's 7 times 5? 35, add my 0. That's it. Okay, that's it. That's all you gotta do. We have our mental math over here, our notes, but here's our problem. I want to see all of this, guys. If you can jump there without even flinching, you gotta say, I doubled it, and this is how I doubled it. You need to write it in words. If you can't show me this, you gotta write it in words, okay? Okay, so go ahead and pause and copy. Okay. Moving on. This one, let's do this one, okay? So the whole point here is to attempt to get rid of our fractions, but at the same time, like, do you see the 25 and the 25? Okay, so how many times do you have to multiply 25 to get 100? How many quarters do I have in a dollar? I have 4, right? So 25 over 6.25, right? So I'm going to multiply this by 4 over 4. Or 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom. Either way. However you want to do it. 4 times 4 is 100. Okay. Let's do this next one. Okay. We know that 0.25 times 4 is 1, right? Yeah. 6 times 4 is 24. So 6 times 4 and 0.25 times 4. Okay, 6 times 4 is 24. And this is 1. So what's our answer? 25. Okay, can you reduce that down? We just did it, right? Oh my goodness, right? Look at that. Look at that. Okay. One more and then we'll move on, okay? Okay. 6.3 divided by 1.5. Okay, let's do this first. Let's just get rid of our 1.5. I need it to go. I can't deal with 1.5. I can deal with a 3 if I double it, but I can't deal with a 1.5. Okay, so we're gonna multiply this by 2, multiply this one by 2. Okay, so 1.5 and 1.5 is 3, right? We know this. Okay, 6 times 2. 12.3 times 2. 0.6, right? Yeah. So add them together, 12.6. Okay. Okay, what's 12? 12 divided by 3. That's 4. What's 3 divided by 0.6? It's 2. Mental math. You totally got this. You just did the standard division algorithm in your head. 3 goes into 12, then 3 goes into 0.6, 4.2. Totally got it. Okay? So go ahead and pause and copy, folks. Yeah, pause and copy. Okay. So, last one we're going to do, okay, together. I'm going to show you, okay? Mental math. I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to show you on my notes, okay? So let's first switch this horizontal to vertical. 4,564 divided by 3.5. You know this about me. I can't do fraction. Or I can't do decimals. I'm not going to divide my decimals. Power of 10, it could work here. We could totally do the power of 10, but we're doing mental math, right? Right. So let's just do 2, okay? We know that 35 and 35, 70, right? So we know 7 on the bottom, but let's do this one, okay? 4,000 and 4,000. We know that's 8,000, right? And then we have 500 and 500 is another 1,000, right? Yeah. And then just one digit at a time, guys. 60 and 60, 120. Okay. And then our ones. Okay, so this is our 1,000, 100, tens, and our ones. Okay. 4 and 4, 8. Okay. And let's do it. 8,000 plus 1,000, 9,000. 120 and 8 is 128, right? So 9,128 maybe? Yeah. Answer key's telling me that's correct. So 9,128. Okay. I'm going to have to adjust this a little bit more. Sorry, guys. So you can see all of it. I apologize. I spread out too far. Okay. So let's just do, so they want you to do mental math with your division algorithm, okay? So we did the mental math to get a whole number to divide, right? So we're going to go 7 divided by 9128, okay? 7 can go into 9. Yes, it can. 7 times 1 is 7. That's 2. Bring down our 1. 7 times what is 21? It's 3. So, and then we need to bring down our 2. You can't take, folks, you can't take it away, can you? No, you cannot. That's a 0. Then we bring down our 8. What's 7 times 4? It is 28. Awesome. Okay, feel free to double check me, please. I encourage you to take these two numbers into a calculator, make sure they're right. Okay, so go ahead and pause and copy that. Then I want you to pause and copy this. Make sure you get your thousands, your hundreds, your tens, and your ones. You're breaking this down. Guys, this is mental math. Did you use a calculator? No. You did it in your head, right? Yep, you're good to go. So pause and copy this. And then standard algorithm, guys. So 1 times 7 is 7. Bring down your 2. Or that's 2 left. Bring down your 1. 3 times 7 is 21. Okay? Then you have 0 left. 21 minus 21. I'll put my signs in here, sorry. 21 minus 21. 0. Okay? Bring down my 2. Can't take 7 pieces from 2 pieces. I'll have negative 5 pieces. We're not there yet, right? Okay. So I got to bring down my 8. I know that 4 times 7 is 28. Okay? No remainder. Okay. That's it for the lesson. I want you to come back to me with questions, with all the things that you have, okay? Break it down, guys. You can break these down into tiny little pieces. Keep your scratch paper off to the side. This one obviously gave you like a whole page to work it out, so just make sure, like, keep it in order like I did, and just a natural progression of things, okay? Obviously, you're the only one that needs to read your notes, but at the same time, I need to figure out where you are. Most of the time, I can do that. If I see all of this, I know where you're going. If I see this, I know where you're going, okay? And I can even, when I see this, I can tell if you, hey, we all have off days. 4 times 7, it could be 21 today. In my head, I could be convinced of that, but I could also double check your math for you and tell you where the errors are. If all I see is this equals 1304, I know you used a calculator, and the whole point of this is to do it mentally, okay? We got to learn how to do the mental math to free us up to do the harder math, okay? We got to do this part in our head so we can do the harder stuff, okay? Free up our brain to do the harder math. Okay, please come to me with questions, guys.